So I just wanted to continue this very occasional little series about the YouTube, free thought, secular, atheist, community. There's a lot of video content that I was very, interested in, around about, 2008 to about 2012. And a couple of months ago, I uploaded one about Aaron Ra. And this time I wanted to talk about a guy called DARKMATTER2525. And that was a channel that I really enjoyed immensely. He's a cartoonist and a very interesting chap. He was a special forces soldier in his previous life, and took up this YouTube thing then and kept going when it was capable to be monetized and actually make a living out of it. And a very witty chap, the cartoons were featured God and his sidekick Jeffrey, and the basic thing was to just try and expose hypocrisies and contradictions and paradoxes and just say, well, isn't this just completely silly? And that was great, and unlike most of the folks in that milieu, when YouTube changed and grew and it became capable to actually make a living out of it through AdSense and Patreon, he kept going and tried to expand his repertoire to talk about a sort of secular morality. He's had another series that I didn't follow that closely called Absolute Power Corrupts, So the reason I mentioned him anyway, because that was content that I really did enjoy. Very funny dude, really funny, and pretty clever too. And also it appeared that circa 2012, when some really glaring weaknesses and some very troubling developments in that whole community started, these fissures and the whole thing started appearing. He appeared to be a very cynical type who wasn't going along with that at all. As social justice and progressivism got its fangs into that whole movement, he appeared to be really setting himself apart from it and was really sarcastic about some of the virtue signalling cretins that would peddle their ideological shite on YouTube. What particularly stands out in my mind is a content creator called Steve Shives, who used to be kind of a funny dude as well, but it just became this social justice lunatic. I link Dark Matter and Steve Shives' channels down below in the description, and if anyone has any interest in looking at that stuff. So yeah, very cynical and sarcastic about folks like that, and used to go on live streams with some other folks that seem to be of a similar bent in that community to slag those folks mercilessly. But something happened along the way and over the last couple of years, and he appears to have recanted any kind of cynicism about that whole progressive insanity and is very much in lockstep with that now. I'll link a couple of his most egregious videos down in the description. They'll give you a good example of where he's coming from now. Needless to remark, the Orange Man is indeed bad, and minorities are to this day oppressed, suppressed, brutalised, and there's just this maniacal right wing just out there, just owning the conversation and owning the world around us, and only the brave few who fearlessly speak against these terrible, conservative, or religious, take your pick, any way you want to castigate anybody that isn't a progressive loon, which is really disappointing. But most insulting of all was on one of the videos I link. he has a lovely little display of I beg your pardon, wrong thinkers. Their channel is saying these people lie to you mendaciously, and you need to protect your brain against that kind of a pile of falsehoods, you know. And I mean, not that I expected a reply and I didn't get one, but I commented to Dark Matter saying, mate, the folks that you've listed there, first of all, at least half of them are about as right wing as my big toe. They just aren't. They're absolutely centrist to their core. Fnar fnar. And some of the other ones may be right of centre at most. Most of them are libertarian types. So, but yeah, we get this list of wrong thinkers and the admonition that they're just peddling falsehoods and viruses of intolerance and bigotry. So I said, mate, they aren't. And also, it wasn't folks like that are turning away ordinary punters like me from the old free thought, secular yada 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 type worldview. It's the things you yourselves were saying. Sanctimonious, patronising nonsense that doesn't stand up to much scrutiny. It just doesn't. Tired, threadbare, careworn narratives about the horrifically, oppressive world we're living in here. So yeah, anyway, I'll put the links in. Maybe someone would like to check some of it out. But really, really disappointing actually, because your man Dark Matter, it turns out, was a black metal fan as well. But I know as well that some black metal fans are just, well, let's just stick to talking about the music and get into any other subject matters. So yeah, anyway, who's to say? I'll throw a few tags on it. Maybe someone will say this and have a different view about it and think that Dark Matter is still a great guy, or whatever. So thanks for listening.